Hey guys, JJ here at Mixed Media Woodworks. I literally just uploaded a new video. First video I have done in 10 months. And just like that, we're right back in the shop here. Getting ready to try an experiment. After we uploaded, we was perusing through a few videos here and there. And for any of you that does anything with resin or with acrylic arts or fluid arts in general, you probably run across, flip cup acrylics, dirty cup acrylics. I've done the dirty cup technique in pouring some of my coasters. But not like this, and this is going to be an experiment. We're going to take a cup, actually this cup. I've already measured out what we need to fill this about 4/5 full. So there's our pre-measured cup. That's where we're going to fill to, and we're going to be using some Duo Violet Brass from Pearlex, along with some pink gold, also from Pearlex. We're going to use a little bit of the translucent rose red from Let's Resin, a little bit of alcohol ink, and from Eye Candy, we're going to use one called Rusty. And this is gorgeous, gorgeous mica powder. So, with that said, we're going to switch up our camera angles. Gloves are on. We're going to mix up some resin, and as soon as it is mixed up, we'll come back and start mixing up our colors. Always comes in handy to have the camera when you want to film anything. Okay, here's where we're at. We've got our gelling. It's already starting to set up. Of course, it's in a big mass like this. It's going to set up quick, or quicker. This has got a 40-minute, I'm going to say a 30-minute time that you can play with it. So we got plenty of time yet. I don't mind it setting up a little quicker because I want it thick anyway. I don't want these colors blending too much until I pull the cup up. So we're going to need this for a second. Let's get our stuff poured in here. We're going to use a little bit of black. We added that because I really need something to delineate these colors since they're all similar in the red tones. So I want see if I can't come up with some thin black separator lines in there somehow. Hard to explain what I'm going for until I see it and I can show you. I've got a couple of examples, but we'll get to that as soon as I get these poured and mixed up. All very vibrant colors, but we're going to try to mix. We're going to mix them lightly. Lightly by meaning in translucency. I like a lot of the color, but I also like to be able to see the blending. I like to be able to see the levels, the 3D effect. I was going to save back some clear, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm going to use this red rose since it doesn't have anything other than color. It's not a mica powder. It's a alcohol ink. Yeah, there it is. Brain fart again in a continuous fashion. Alright, let's get these colors mixed in. This is the violet brass duotone. Pearl makes some really nice duos. They've got a real nice blue-green, and this violet brass, the pink gold is really nice. We're going to be using that along with this. And I'm purposely, you really can't mix these enough because they can clump up and then you get surprises later. And what I mean by surprises later, you get something that goes on like this, where these were created by motes of particles that clumped together, and then as the resin expanded and contracted and heated up, they burst. And I kind of like that effect. I'd like to see some of that come through in here. So I'm going to purposely not mix it as well as I should. The whole idea is through the translucency to be able to see the 3D colors shift. We'll go with 3 drops to begin with here. The color shift kind of not unlike this. Now, this is a pen that I turned about a year ago. There's some of that pink gold in here, but the patterns and whatnot is what I'm looking for. That very nice swirling effect. Ooh, that might be just enough. Oh yeah, and this is pearlescent. I forgot that. But that's still fairly thin, and it allows all these other colors to be viewed through it. That's our window. I always like to have a window of something that's semi-translucent. This rusty, oh my goodness, that is just got shades of brown and red and bronze, and eye candy makes some very nice powders. Our black. A little bit of that black goes a long ways. Well, that will mix up fairly well. Don't necessarily need explosion. Well, you never know. That's the whole thing with this. You can't plan for every effect that comes out of your pour. You can learn how a lot of things interact due to specific gravities. For instance, having more mica powder in one mix than another. One of them will tend to float above the other, and the other will seep below, depending on how they're flowing, and how hot the resin is, and how thick it is, and so on and so forth. It's an infinite amount of variables. So, we've diddle-daddled long enough. They're getting thick. It's time to get these poured into 1 cup and hope that we got enough. I'm pretty sure we do. Okay, let's lead with a little bit of the translucent. About 1/3 of it, maybe. And then just very quickly start pouring these in. kind of randomize it just a tad, but not too much. Pop us a few bubbles. Careful not to collapse the cup, which I have done. Well, as you can see, coming into the shop, we've got a lot of things laid out to try to finish up since we got the lights turned back on. Most of all, we've got a whole bunch of clocks to finish up and some more coasters. All this stuff you'll find on Etsy. Time to do the reveal for our experiment. So let's take a look and see what happened. Just bear with me as we take you on a little trip. Alrighty. Well, she really contracted all the way into the middle here. It's been about 13 hours, 14 hours, somewhere in there. It's plenty hardened. Well, we're not getting anything sticking. So, now I don't know what the bottom looks like yet. I'm really kind of hoping for something like this, or this, or this, or you get the idea. You never know what's under there. So, here it is. Ooh. Ooh. That's a galaxy swirl if I've ever seen one. And there is a lot of that unmixed mica powder that is giving us some little, I'm going to call them planets, just because I can. That's where my mind went just as soon as I saw it. So, that's kind of cool all in itself. It really is. I really love the color. But this is what we were looking for. So now we can sand that a little bit, and we'll give that a clear coat, and that'll really make that pop, and you'll see that here in just a minute. Okay, we'll sand that after we do our coat, because we're going to have little drips under there anyway. That makes things so much simpler. Well, we only need about a ½ ounce of resin. Let's check and see. Well, let's see if we can't. May seem trifling, but I really do like to keep these things as level as we can. That was too much, so we'll unfold that once. That's right on it. Now maybe we can move this way. Not that way, not that way. Put it on the wrong side, didn't I? Ha. There we go. All right, I'm liking that. Let's get some resin and we'll come right back. Okay, let's get some clear coat on here. First, let's see if we can get rid of a few bubbles without collapsing the cup, hopefully, from heat. I think maybe we better clean this first. Let's heat that surface up just a little. This helps things flow. Doesn't take much. But we're at about 65 degrees, and every little bit helps. Let's get this outside edge first. I'll show you why in just a second. Because we're going to take that, and we're going to wipe down our edges just ever so slightly, because it helps to flow if it's already attached on the sides. There's a little material there. Yes, I should wear a second glove, but I'm rather worthless left-handed, so I rely on my right hand for this kind of detail work. Okay. They've been slickified. It will flow very much easier. Very much easier. Is that a phrase? It will flow much easier. How's that? Now we can just pour it up here. Let it do its thing while I just kind of help it along a bit. Close up. There we go. And that is that. waste that much. We'll throw a little of that in there just because we want a clear cap for a project. Pour the rest of this on here. Okay, let that drip for a minute while I do a little bit of cleanup over on this side. Like I say, I've got a lot of this stuff. Well, not a lot. I just started listing this stuff, I should say, on Etsy. So go check it out if you would. Just look for Mixed Media Woodworks in Etsy. I'd really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Ring the bell and we'll get you notified every time we let out or set out a video. Set out a video? It's like I said it somewhere. No, every time we upload a video. Let's see if we need more of our sticks. There we go. Now let's just kind of spread those sides out a little more. Start collecting our drips. That'll continue to drip for a good hour. And about every 15-20 minutes or so, I'll come by and scrape off the edges. That way we get a minimal amount of little runs on the bottom. A lot of people will do tape on the bottom and then pull it off before it's fully hardened. I don't like doing that. I just don't like handling them until they're completely cured. And by that time it makes it difficult to get the tape off, so I don't bother to tape. I mean, I get bumps on the bottom and I gotta sand them off, but they're really not that bad. I mean, that's not much of a bump. You know, that one's a little more proud, but for the most part, that sands off in just a few seconds. And I'm going to clear coat the bottoms or put a put a felt pad so you just don't see them anyway. Okay. So we're just going to keep on top of this for a few minutes. We'll just fast forward through all that. And then we'll see you in just a few seconds on your side of the screen. It'll be tomorrow for me, but we'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay, real quick, I want to apologize for the flickering that the camera is doing. We had been shooting at 60 frames per second because I wanted to experiment with some halftime footage. But I don't know if that's what's causing the issue or it's the camera's just getting old. I've had it for a little over a year now and used it a lot. So we're using it now. And we don't have any choice. It's the only camera I've got. Anyway, we clear coated this. I've already sanded it. And you can see what it looked like from the pour side. This is the bottom. Now, I tried overnight to duplicate it with basically the same colors, adding an extra color. And here, of course, is the top. Kind of looks similar to that. And I was hoping for the same effect on the bottom, and we kind of got it, but they kind of blotched out a little bit. And I'm not real happy with it, but I kind of like the front on this one. So we'll sand that down and clear coat it and turn that into a clock. So that's where we're at. Hang on. We'll give you a final reveal on this in just a few seconds. Stay tuned. Okay, hopefully you enjoyed my little experiment. I had fun doing it, even though the second one didn't turn out the way I really wanted it. I am going to try this again, and I think, because I'm really looking for another way to make a galaxy swirl, something that's more organic, and of course it's all kind of a gamble. You never know what's on the bottom. But next time I'm going to put it against a very thin black background first. So it'll be a 2-day pour to get it to work. We'll see what happens with that. Until then, I think my next, yeah, we're flying. I think our next project is going to be trying to get all of this cleaned up yet again. It's not as bad as it looks, but it's still a lot of work. And we'll get there. Eventually. Hopefully. I think we're going to take a trip out to the mill. We're going to film that this time. And maybe that'll show up on our next shop shorts about in a week or so. So until then, stay upright, breathing, and creating. See you guys later.